Hey students, how are you all? I hope you're all fit and fine at home and are strictly following the COVID rules. Today is the very first video of English for this new academic session, to which I heartily welcome you all. And I also sincerely hope that you'll enjoy learning from the upcoming videos. But before we start today's discussion or today's new topic, it's very important for you to have some fun. So for that, you're going to play a little guessing game where you're going to see a series of some pictures, and from those pictures you have to guess which chapter we are going to discuss in today's video. I hope you'll not have much difficulty in guessing the pictures because I'm expecting that you've already gone through your literature and grammar books. Okay, so here is your first picture. Now, what does this picture remind you of? What is this? And this is something that we all love. Yes, we all relish this like anything. Yes, it is in so many variety of colors and flavors. I'm not taking the name. Yes, you have to guess the name on your own. And I think most of you have already guessed the name. Yes, let us have a look at the second picture now. Ooh, this is another very tempting picture, right? You can see this beautiful velvety chocolate sauce dripping on these chocolate balls. Yes. Now, what are these chocolate balls made up of? You know already. I am also not going to take the name. Now, this is something that has to go on inside your head. Let us have a look at the next picture. Yum, yum, yum. Once again, such a tempting picture, right? I don't know what you are thinking right now, but I feel like going out and buying few of these. As you can already feel, it's so hot these days. The summer has approached and now we're all, like in the sweltering heat. We need something to cool us down. This is where it will be helpful. Yes, so these chilly things, frosty, colorful, flavorful, creamy things are delight for our souls. Yes, and this is something that you already know. Now let us see whether what most of you have guessed is correct or not. Correct. You are absolutely correct. So, most of you had already thought about the word ice cream from the pictures you've just now seen. But yes, the name exactly is not ice cream, but Ice Cream Man. So, this is the very first chapter of your literature book, of your NCERT Marigold book. And this is the chapter that we are going to discuss in today's video, and this is going to be an introductory discussion. Before we dive deep into the discussion of the various aspects of this chapter, it is very important to first have a look at all the important things that you are going to learn in this particular poem. So, there are multiple topics that we are going to discuss when we are, talking about this poem or when we are reading this poem. So, the very first topic would be what summer feels like, the movement of an ice cream man, things that an ice cream man does, flavors of ice cream and other chilly things, and finally, we'll also talk about the similarity between an ice cream cart and a garden. Now, I hope you already know that an ice cream man has a cart along with him where he stores all the chilly and the frosty things, all the ice creams. So that is what an ice cream cart is. Now, before we do any other discussion, students, it is very important to learn a little about the background of the poem. Now, if we are talking about the background of the poem, we should first know about the poet. Okay, so the person who composed this poem is the most important person. Yes, when we are learning about any new chapter. So it is his or her ideas, it is his or her thoughts that we are going to read about. So let us first talk about the poet of this particular poem, Ice Cream Man. Now students, the picture that you can now see on your screen is that of Rachel Field. Now who is Rachel Field? Rachel Field is the poetess and the composer of the poem Ice Cream Man. Now let us have a look at some very important details of her life. So Rachel Field was born on September 19th, 1894 in New York. Okay, so just imagine she was born many years ago, more than 100 years ago. Okay, and she died on March 15th, 1942 in Los Angeles, California. Now she is a poet or a poetess that you already know, but she was also famous as an American novelist, a poet, and a children's fiction writer. Now, who is a novelist? A person who writes novels is a novelist, and a children's fiction writer is a person who writes stories for children. Now, some of her important works are Hitty, Her First 100 Years, and Time Out of Mind. Now, she has written multiple number of things, huge number of things Rachel Field has written, but these are few of her very important works. Now, she was a very famous writer of her time, so she was also awarded. Now, what are the awards that she achieved? The first one is the John Newbery Medal and also the National Book Award for Novels. Okay, so these are the few awards of the many that she received in her lifetime. And movies. Now, these movies were based on the works that she had written, like The Londonderry Air and Now Tomorrow. So these are the two movies. There are many movies that have been made based on the works that she has written, but these are two very well-known movies. Okay, for example, if you have heard of Harry Potter books, the books were first written by J.K. Rowling. Later, those were adapted into movies. So the same thing happened in this case as well. Students, now that you know quite a few details about Rachel Field, the poetess of Ice Cream Man, let us move on to a different type of a discussion of the same chapter. Today we are not going to discuss any of the topics that have been mentioned before. Okay, so today we are just going to read the poem. So if you are ever asked to recite, okay, if you are ever asked to read the poem aloud, this is how you can read. So let us have a look, or let us hear a reading of The Ice Cream Man. When summer's in the city and bricks a blaze of heat, the ice cream man with his little cart goes trundling down the street. Beneath his round umbrella, oh, what a joyful sight! To see him fill the cones with mounds of cooling brown and white. Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry are chilly things to drink, from bottles full of frosty fizz, green, orange, white or pink. His cart might be a flower bed of roses and sweet peas, the way the children cluster around, as thick as honeybees. Alright students, with this we come to the end of our introductory session of the poem The Ice Cream Man. In the upcoming few videos, we are going to discuss the poem in depth, in details. So, until then, stay safe, goodbye, and stay at home and take all the preventive measures against COVID because the danger is not over yet.